might not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we running. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. You can meet me outside, but you better buckle up. It's a wild ride. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side. Yeah. Party till 5 in the morning. Do it again in the morning. Do it like we did this ride, man. I think the government watching. Minister perfect society. Struggling with my sobriety. Struggling with my anxiety. Are you feeling the insanity? Anger inside of me. There is a war in me. And it keep drowning me. Blinded by all of the vanity. Snakes all around and they rattling. Tell them to shut up the chattering. Blow up the spot, then we running. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy. You can meet me outside, but you better buckle up. It's a wild ride. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side. Hope you're ready for it now. We gon' be running your town. Oh, we ain't playing around. We gon' be shutting it down. Hope you're ready for it now. We won't be running your town. Oh, we ain't playing around. We gon' be shutting it down. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild, wild, wild. Welcome to the wild side. Wild side.
Hello, hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight? Welcome to the show. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Glad to see everybody here. As you can tell, we've got a special guest with us tonight. We have the one, the only Miss XanamayX. I was supposed to have a special guest co-host tonight, but she had a family emergency and she won't be able to make it with us tonight. So it's just going to be me and XanamayX tonight. I kind of want to go over what we're going to talk about and what this stream is about before we get started. Miss XanamayX, how are you doing tonight before I get started?
I'm pretty good. Thank you so much for having me over here. And by the way, I'm loving the intro because I'm pretty pumped up over here now.
Thank you. That was a suggestion by my special co-host. She has pretty good taste, so I thought it was pretty appropriate for the occasion. Okay, guys. For the mods in chat, be mindful of the comments. People can be critical. No nasty or derogatory or negative comments towards XanamayX. We're not here to bash her. We're here to support her in her journey and what's going on with her. So this stream is not to go over what has happened in the Kali Roddy case. This is not. She's done that enough. This stream is about XanamayX herself and how this has affected her and her family. I think we've heard enough about the Kali Roddy case. It's pretty much an open and shut case. I think at this point we're just kind of waiting for the authorities to confirm that, but that's not what we're here to talk about. This is all about her and what's happened to her and her family.
Yeah, and be respectful in the chat. If you disrespect any of either supporters over there, and just kick them out, please.
Yes. We're not going to tolerate any hate or any negativity of that kind. No nasty comments, nothing like that. So mods, please be mindful of the comments and kick those bad ones out. I know it's probably disappointing that people that you're not getting what you thought you were going to get here, but Zanime needs to really tell her side of things and what's happened to her in the front of the screen and what's happening behind the screen. This is all for her. So be mindful of that. I know it's disappointing, and I know you probably guys probably wanted to hear more, but that's not what this is. So
Yeah, we'll take questions at just when we're having a little bit conversation and stuff, and we'll keep an eye on the chat, and we'll be able to answer questions from the chat. Um, Mind, it's not about the case, and it's not about like what actually have to do with me being in Truckee. This right here is the questions for what has been going on with my life and with my family. And
exactly,
if I just want to remind, if you disrespect anybody in the chat, you will be kicked out. I don't care if a disrespect's coming towards me because I can handle it. But if you disrespect anybody in the chat, any of the supporters, you'll be kicked out.
for sure. So please be mindful, guys. Be nice to one another. This is not a hate stream. This is a support anime stream. So you, like I said, you can be critical of each other, but please don't be mean to each other. People have their own thoughts about things, and you can be critical without being nasty. There's no need for that. So
It's always good to have healthy debates, and because
exactly,
everybody needs to hear the story. Like everybody wants to express their own opinions because everybody's opinions really do matter. And then it's just the way you convey your opinions and the way you attacking other people. That's what is getting a little bit out of hand over here.
exactly. I mean, and you, trust me, I've seen tons and tons of comments supporting you today. So it's actually pretty awesome to see. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you're getting a chance to tell your side of things and what's happening to you and your family. So thank you for being here. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you for all the supporters that are really over here. And then it's been a pretty wild journey because I was not expecting any of this come out or any of this happening, and I just kind of got thrown into the situation. And the way you can handle the situation is just you got to be strong and you got to rely on your family, your support system, and my support system it's become a we support system in a way too. So it's I love it. Keep the Purple Hearts going as well.
Definitely. There's a lot of people in here thanking you for your service. And just to touch on that just briefly, because we're not going to go into it tonight, but just to touch on it before we begin, if everybody missed it, Triple T did a live the other night. He is a ex-Navy SEAL that still has DOD clearance. He actually looked up Xanamay's service record, and she is and was in the military. So that should be all put to rest now. There should be no questioning that. It's real, folks. There is no stolen valor here or anything like that. So just so we can put that to rest for good.
Yeah, stolen valor actually being called or called out on stolen valor or something, and then if you actually put in a lot of the time and a lot of the efforts into the military service, and it's kind of a blow in the face. It's one of the worst things that you can call a veteran, saying that, "Oh, you didn't do anything. You didn't
Exactly.
provide anything for this country." So,
That's
uh,
like the biggest disrespect to somebody that's been in the service you can give them.
yes, question but verify. Always question but verify.
Exactly. And it was verified the other night. So if anybody has any questions about that, I posted a redacted copy of it on my community page. And you can also go check out Triple T's live stream the other night where he actually showed where he looked it up. So,
Yeah.
but sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask you, can you tell everybody who you are and a little bit about your story before we begin for people that may not know what's happening here?
Okay. Oh, by the way, I see some veterans in the chat, and I wanted to provide my support to you, all of you, over here, and thank you for serving this country. Um, and so Who I am? I'm a nobody. Well, I'm a nobody to this community, but I am somebody to my family. I am Ukrainian. We came to this country about a little over 20 years ago, and just two bags and with nothing to do. I graduated high school here in America, and I was just wondering like what is going on. It was during 9/11, and that's when everybody was joining the military. I was like, you know what? That's my path. I'm going military route. And I served the military, did my thing, got my bachelor's, got out, active duty, got my master's, and I'm still in National Guard. I have about a year left to retire. But I'm really just wanted to make something out of myself, to help out my mom, help out my family because we had nothing, and my mom didn't have a lot of retirement, and I just wanted to do something with my life and create something and help out my mom. But then the war in Ukraine happened, and my family reached out to me. They're like, "We need help. We need to go. My niece Sophia needs future." And I just rushed into action like any person would in a loving family. And I'm not a stranger to jumping into action whatsoever. So I went. I met them in Romania. They the ones that crossed the border from Ukraine into Romania through Moldova, and I met them in Romania. And the journey was pretty hard, even though I know quite a few people were saying the journey was not hard, but with barely any money and no direction and how I'm gonna bring them to the States. So I had to do all the research, pull all my contacts, and just do everything that I could to bring them back. And that's another story. If you guys actually want to hear that story, it is. I have a podcast released on my page, and it's been released for quite a while. And actually, it explains why one of my videos, saying that all heroes wear capes, because I never called myself a hero, is because my family is a hero. And if you listen to the end, you'll be able to find out why the title is extremely important to me. And I've been attacked because of that title too, without them knowing the backstory of it. Yeah, so go ahead.
Of course, people always attack what they don't know until they do know it, and then they get egg in their face. So it's actually kind of sad some of the things that have been happening to you here lately. Um, do you want to touch on a little bit of what's been happening ever since this all started and you went on that first podcast?
Yeah, so ever since I started, I was just at the wrong time at the wrong place. I didn't even know the person that was happening, and I'm really factual. I stick to the facts and I stick to the truth. And I didn't like how somebody, because I fight against people who try to spread the misinformation and everything. And I was out there and I could not find the right words at the moment. And after that, it went after me like a tsunami of hateful comments, tsunami, because sometimes I just tell you, sometimes when you have extremely large following, you are responsible for your own community. You are responsible for your own message that you put out there, because you never know who's truly out there. You never know what they're going to do to you, what they're going to do to the family. And I've been receiving a lot of negative comments, which I can handle. But my family got out there. My 11-year-old niece, her face is out there. They try to, I don't even know what they're trying to do. Get it matched up, try to connect the dots that don't even exist, latched onto invisible rope. And that's what triggered me, because you don't do that to children, and especially Ukrainian refugees that are already dealing with enough, that there's going on in their country, in my country. And her grandparents are back home. She has to worry about her grandparents, not getting killed, and then now she has to worry about all of this. No, it's not cool.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah,
Um,
and go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I wanted to say that so the comments and everything, it was fine and dandy, but then when my personal information started getting out there, started getting leaked out, my full name got leaked out there, so I had to release. And then plus with all of the stolen valor, I had to release the news articles and post it on my page just to try to see like if people just come down, like come on, please, just like this is nonsense because I have nothing to do with this case. Police has never contacted me, and this needs to get squashed. And so when all of this happened, then I started getting death threats. I actually had to file a police report the other day because there was extremely suspicious car. Oh, by the way, if you were that car outside of my house taking pictures and everything, I got your license plates, and guess what? The police already has it, and you're on my cameras. So just FYI. Um, and but when you threaten the safety of my family, this is where not a nice side of Zanime is coming out.
And this is what this stream is all about, to show people that when you have a big creator or creators in this case that have said some of the things they've said and done some of the things they've done, the end result is not good. I mean, somebody could do something in real life to this family, and that, yeah, that is absolutely horrible to think that something like that could happen. I mean, people that have 3 million followers, hell, even 10,000 followers, when you have a big audience like that, they have to be responsible for what they say to their people, because you just never know who's out there and what kind of crazy thoughts go through their head. Because there's some people out there that take every word that they say to gospel, and they want to help that person do something in their mind, and it can go to real life real quick and somebody can get hurt. I mean, it's happened before on YouTube. It's absolutely nuts what
Yeah,
some
well,
people would do.
it's bullying. It's bullying not just by a person, it's bullying by the community. And for example, like when I hear a word bully, like I think of someone who's like mean spirited, wants to hurt feelings like reputation of another person. And bullies like to put other people down because that makes them feel better and superior. And it's that's bullies, like basically they have to tendency to pick on people they're perceived to be smaller, younger, important, or deficient in some way, but they're trying to bully somebody who's completely not that. And that is why I'm out here, and then that is why I'm speaking strongly against cyberbullying and everything.
Absolutely, and we are all here to support you in that message that, what is being done to you is not right, not right one bit. Like, it's okay to have an opinion about something, but to call her the names that have been called, and for somebody's particular mom to call her the names that she's called, I mean, that's just absolutely uncalled for. When you attack the person and not the argument, you have failed. Attack the argument, not the person. It's absolutely insane. And the level of audacity of some of these people to try to make connections that aren't even there is absolutely mind boggling. Just mind boggling.
It's
Um,
nothing funny. Like it's nothing funny about it at all. Like even if no one is physically hurt, there's mental and emotional damage can still be done to this particular person, and it has been done over and over and over with the different platforms and everything. Because like some people can actually become like anxious, angry, depressed, and they start questioning their own self worth based on how they're perceived and treated by bullies. And then some people are actually victims of bullying. Like they start to question their own existence and the reason for living, and it's not okay.
tell everybody how it has affected you physically and mentally.
Well,
If you want to get into that, we don't have to if you don't want. But
yeah, I'm just gonna say we cry before the battle, and we we weep before any kind of fight because it just makes you stronger. Sometimes you just have to open up and you have to have the great support system, and it makes you a lot stronger. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm not so much worried about myself. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about their mental health and their actually physical health as well, because it's to the point, it's getting ridiculous to the point where this really needs to stop.
What's being done to your family behind the scenes that people don't necessarily see or hear about?
Well, as I
If
mentioned
if
earlier.
if you want to get specifics, tongue tied.
Okay. I'll read you one of the texts that I have received.
Okay.
So my family is they're very strong, but they're very sensitive about certain topics, especially like the war in Ukraine. Oh, by the way, my phone number got leaked out, so I've been getting all crazy texts.
Oh God.
Okay, so I'm not going to use their derogatory words in here, but okay, so one of the comments: Ukraine trash always ends up in a trash where it belongs. Leave little kids alone, you P word. The one
Oh
that does bad stuff to the kids.
Jesus Christ.
Little heads up, you made it into Fed's radar. After you do 50 years in prison, they will deport you. Oh, D-Day is almost here. Can't wait to see YouTube after they get your ass. Feds have been letting you incriminate yourself for the last month and over, and they have enough to charge you. But funny part is they don't want to charge you until they get. I can't even read this nonsense because it's not even proper English.
It just sounds like babble.
Eh,
It's
not,
really what it sounds like. Just
not
babble.
not not the psychobabble of it,
Not
the babble.
psychobabble. Just babble.
Yeah, and then he said like, your whole life is about to change for the worst. You Ukrainian trash. American law is a bitch, and jail is gonna be wild for you. Ukrainian p word aren't liked in American prisons. Like, where does this coming from?
That's absolutely awful. Okay, and I just have to ask this question, and just so everybody knows, you have not been contacted by the authorities at all in this case, correct?
That is correct. I have not.
Okay. So, I mean, that should tell you a lot, folks, that if authorities haven't contacted her, there's nothing really to see here.
They're not interested in talking to me whatsoever.
Have you? I know we're not going to. We weren't going to get into it very much. I just have one more question. Have you reached out to them to see if they were interested in talking to you?
I reached out to them and seen if they were interested in taking my footage, and they're like, no.
Okay. Well, I mean that should tell everybody a lot right there. I mean, really, it's absolutely crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the fact that, like, well, it's gaslighting.
It is
You know,
gaslighting.
yeah, it's like, well, the different effects of gaslighting. Well, okay, so what is gaslighting, right? It's basically when someone gaslights another person, they feed them lies, deceptions, manipulate them. They cause the individual to start questioning or doubting themselves. For example, like if all these people are saying this about me, maybe it's true and everything. So somebody who is not strong enough mentally or physically, they might start getting into a rabbit hole and might start be like, maybe I did this, maybe I did this, maybe I did that. But it's just terrible. Like how awful to feel like you have no support or any way to get through something like this, or even take your life because somebody's trying to blame you for a murder, and you know for a fact that you innocent, and you're like, okay, well, what do I do then? Then I'm just gonna curl up in a hole and shut off all my social media and never go in social media. But we all need support because all of this affects people, and then affects their close family members as well.
Yeah, I can only imagine what your family's going through right now. It's absolutely insane. I mean, I know I've heard reports that your family business is getting attacked too. Is that right?
Yeah, I was trying to build a family business, so once Tanya gets her social security number, I can actually provide a W-2 form for her. She can actually have like a really good job while she's still learning English and learning the American laws. So, and my mom's retired, so she was gonna run my business for me. I'll just do like little side and concentrate on my job. But my business has been taking a toll because all of this happening, and I haven't been able to concentrate on actually, because it's already built, it's already legal, it is an LLC. I don't care if you guys all say like, oh, the LLC conspiracy. No, stop that. Because come on, what kind of conspiracy when you call the business This Crafty Place?
Good Lord. People,
This
people, people just want to see something out of nothing. It's absolutely insane.
this crafty place, literally this crafty place is okay. It's a community that I'm trying to create for all of the crafters around here, especially around the Bay Area, so they can have an online platform to sell way beyond their local markets. And I haven't been able to concentrate on this because of all of this BS is happening.
Are you and your family seeking any kind of support, like mental support outside of YouTube to try to help you with this?
Yeah, so I've been in therapy for quite a while myself because of previous experiences with deployments. And you know what? I don't care if anybody says that you can be an armchair person during deployments or anything else. We all go through a lot of stuff, and you don't know what I did during my deployments, nor am I ever gonna tell you what I did during my deployments.
And
So
you really shouldn't have to, honestly. I mean, we've already proven that you're a military veteran, so there shouldn't be any more questions there. It doesn't matter what you did. It
yeah.
just matters that you served, and we thank you for that.
Thank you. And Hazmat is my PSD, which is psychiatrist service dog, and the fact that he got attacked with a lot of stuff. So kind of he's my family. So that's what we do. We protect our family.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Um, oh, sorry. Go
Go.
ahead.
No. My mom. I've been seeking out therapists for my mom as well. So
Good. Well, I hope they're doing good. Okay, so I know you wanted to touch a little bit more on cyberbullying. Um, tell us what you want to touch about on that, because I know this has affected you guys a lot. It happens a lot, especially when big creators go after people that are just ordinary people. So tell us a little bit more about that.
yeah. So cyberbullies, like, they troll, they make different crazy remarks, name calling, engage in speech, stalk, ridicule others, and then they basically like taking it as far as threats or physical harm sometimes, and death threats, and impersonating others, spreading rumors, and leaking private information, aka why my private information got leaked, and that's including like photos and videos, and constantly talking about it. Basically, the cyberbullies, they don't care. They don't care sometimes about their own reputation at this point either, because they're so deep into it and they're stuck into it and they cannot get out. Um, it's and it's to them, it's not about like who they're hurting or how they're bullying. And then that's maybe hurting their own reputation, right? They get so caught up in trying to bring others down, they don't stop to think of the consequences to themselves or anyone. They see all of the victims as weak and they're superiors. And if someone stands up for themselves and say like, "No, I'm not going to take this anymore," the bullies basically double down. And I think that's what happened to me when I released the video. It's like, "No, you need to stop this. Like, the cyberbullying actually kills." And people got like, "Oh, I'm so scared of this person." And they're like, so they double down on me because this is a strong individual said like, "No, you need to stop." And they're like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm not scared of you. I can try to attack you."
Right.
And yeah, so and then basically they try to assign a blame to the victim instead of accepting responsibility for their own behavior.
Yeah, and for anybody out there that says that you're not a victim, you are a victim in this. I mean, all you wanted to do was go on and talk about something that happened, and look how they've attacked you with it. Like, there are other channels out there that have done this with different people, and they're not getting attacked like this, and they're trying to put connections that aren't there out of thin air, and it's just weird. And then all this hate you've gotten is just absolutely insane. Insane.
Right. Yeah, but the thing is, like, they'll continue their attacks and try to shame me or any other victims that within any kind of different stories. But they don't realize that the victim has actually changed. Like, sometimes they can change the narrative too, and the victim can actually step up and say, like, I'm not going to take this anymore. Like, enough is enough. And there are like tremendous cost to the individual victims and their families. Like, I would think bullying and cyberbullying also cost society as a whole. It like has effect on school and job performance, social interactions, family dynamics. All the YouTubers are fighting each other and everything else, and then flip-flopping sides.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, let's see. Sorry,
Yeah.
I lost my train
No.
of thought. Sorry.
No, so one thing I do want to bring up, so this platform is not just within the United States. Yeah, you and me are located here. We have an we have in society here, but this platform is globally. It's so many different cultures in here, and then globally, I can guarantee you there's 297, well, 96 people now. Somebody left. They don't want to listen to this nonsense. And they I can guarantee you somebody's over here that is completely from a different country, have completely different perspective. But the thing is,
Absolutely.
like, it doesn't stop from them getting into the same situations either. And this is what we need to stop. We need to create a community where we can actually provide support for each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that you're working on something like that, and I know you have some different websites that you want to put out there for people. Tell us about a little bit about the websites that you're promoting on your channel currently.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start promoting cyber smiling. So basically, it's a cyber smiling. It's against cyberbullying. It's a cybersmile.org. We'll put it up in a little description over here.
Yep.
They are a really good supporting group. They have classes, they have directions, and they're really into like Twitter, social media, and everybody can become a cyber smile ambassador. So if you want to support somebody who's going through a lot of cyberbullying, you can actually talk to them, you can coach them, and they create different classes, and it's all free. Yeah, and it's actually supported for by quite few of the celebrities as well. They donate into the Cyber Smile. The other one is the cyberbullying.org. It's more of a research center about you can go over there and then check out different websites or like what how to identify what a cyberbullying really is and the different triggers that you can identify and then different talking points that you can actually talk and who do you need to talk to and everything. So it's a good support. So we try to create like a little community over here to fight for the others.
Excellent. Which one of those is the one that's supported by some of the bigger artists out there? Is it the Cyber Smile?
Yeah, Cybersmile. Cybersmile.org.
Okay. And I think the biggest message here tonight is when a big creator gets involved in something, it doesn't matter who the creator is, but when you've got millions of followers that hang on your every word, you've got to be responsible about what you say to them and how you say it, because it only takes one out of those people to do something stupid and to get somebody hurt. Um,
Absolutely.
Zanime and her family are going through a bunch of shit that they should have never gone through. All she wanted to do was help. And this is the end result. People attacking her for no reason, coming up with conspiracy theories for no reason. It's absolutely insane and mind boggling.
Yeah, but sometimes trolls will be trolls. It becomes dangerous when they're actually acting out on that and sending pictures of a dog and a knife that's held to a dog and like other stuff. So,
Oh my God, have you gotten those?
oh yeah, oh yeah, I got plenty. Well, I got pictures of a dog and this guy like holding a knife to his face, and he's like, "I just wanted you to see this." It's like, oh, great, great. You know, somebody wants to do a very dangerous act that you can do to a woman to the kitchen, and so I can cook my dog and they can watch me eat it, stuff like that. So it's kind of. I'm gonna make a video about reading quite a few of the gruesome comments, but try to make it friendly, YouTube friendly in a way.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna go that route because enough is enough.
Oh, absolutely. And there's people in there that in the chat right now that are saying, I'm a troll. I'm a harmless troll. I'm a funny troll.
Yeah,
Um,
funny trolls are good.
yeah, I'm not out here irresponsibly saying things to people or about people. Um, I'm a funny troll. It's just like hackers. You got white hat hackers and you've got black hat hackers that one group does good, one group does bad. It's the same thing with trolls. You have good trolls and you have very, very bad trolls. And what Zanime and her family are getting right now are very, very bad trolls that shouldn't be doing some of the things they said because there's absolutely nothing to connect her with any of this. Absolutely nothing. I mean, you can come up with all the wild space theories out there that you want, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is why I wanted her to come on so we could put that message out there that this needs to stop. Absolutely needs to stop. It's going to destroy somebody's life in one way or another if it doesn't stop. Like, it has to stop now.
Yeah, they picked on the wrong person. They picked on somebody with, you know, some experience. You want to answer some of the questions in here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you want to pick out some questions, I'll highlight them for sure. Just tell me the
Yeah,
name and I'll pick out a question or two.
Jordan Harris. No,
Jordan
I will.
Harris.
Jordan Harris, if you want me to marry you, you have to go through my fiance, and he's not gonna be happy about this.
It's the
No,
Cap. Oh, okay. Yeah, Captain Kurt's in here. I'm sure you're familiar with him, aren't you?
no comments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the Chewbacca asked about why haven't the military stepped in into this. So I don't want to bring the military into this, or I don't want to bring my job into this because I am acting on my own behalf, on my own name, and I'm not representing any agency. That's why I don't want the military to step into this.
Exactly. Yeah, they have no dog in this fight, so there's no reason for her to bring him into it. Absolutely not.
I'm gonna
Let's see.
I'm gonna get so much crap following after this stream, but hey, you know what? You get to know the real anime, the real Anastasia.
Yeah. Oh, is this the question that you're answering? Why won't they help you? Okay, sorry. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
No,
I don't
no worries. Let's see.
I'm trying to find a question. I mean, there's a lot of comments, but not a lot. Anybody, if you guys have an actual serious question for Zanime, please ask it. She's not going to talk about the case or anything like that. But if you have an actual serious question for her, please ask.
Yeah, okay, so even the questions about like actual cyberbullying and what we're trying to do, because what I'm actually trying to do with this, with all of this hate and all of this newfound subscribers that I have on my channel, is we're gonna make something out of this absolutely terrible hate, and I'm trying to create a community to fight against cyberbullying, to
Oh,
actually provide. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Keep going.
No, to actually provide a safe haven. I do. If anybody out there, they're more than welcome to email me at zenime@zenime.com. We're still in the works of providing a website and providing a bit of a safe haven, and they are more than welcome to email me. The messages are not going to be public. I'm talking about who are bullied. I'm talking about who are cyberbullied because of me, and then who are cyberbullied because of the others. Their messages will never be released to the public, and all we're going to do is just provide a little bit of information to you and direct you where you can go.
Excellent. Cycle Lab has a question. What are your life goals after all this ends?
Well, I was going to try to take care of my family at the very beginning, and guess what? My life goals, I still try to take care of my family and eventually retire somewhere on the islands.
Excellent. I know somebody else asked a question that I can't get back to, but they wanted to know what you do for NASA.
I'm an emergency manager, and what does that entail? It manages emergencies. Now go run wild with it, conspiracy theorists.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure you're like you're responsible for the moon landing, and I'm sure something like that'll be out here tomorrow.
No, I work with like first responders, and we just create classes for them. And in case something happens, like during an earthquake or anything, I run my emergency operations center. And then basically, if somebody doesn't know their job, I have to teach them their job within the emergency operations center.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank
Um,
you.
Cole88 wants to know if you're going to do true crime on YouTube after this.
No.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit.
Okay.
Uh,
Let's see. Moonwalker. No. Oh, no. Somebody asked me when you getting married. I don't know where I'm getting married. Sometime within the next 5 years.
that's awesome. How long have you and your fiance been engaged?
We've been engaged for about 6 months. I think we
Awesome.
got I think we got engaged right after I came back from Ukraine, because I got to realize what is happening, and I was like, you know what, you and I've been together for over 5 years, so why not do the jump, the leap, or whatever. I don't know how to all this to say all of this.
Oh no, that's pretty much the correct term. Take the leap. You
Yes,
bet.
thank you,
Yeah. Well, congratulations on your engagement. That's awesome. I'm happy for you.
thank you.
Let's see.
Let's see. How fast does the underwater sea do goo?
Oh my God.
Really? Really?
Ay, ay, ay. You guys know that's not what that was, right?
Many crew people need to apologize to Zanime. In reality, if they do come up with an apology, I would appreciate that. If they don't, and all I want them to stop doing what they're doing, and that would be absolutely wonderful. And that'll be
Absolutely.
because it's not the thing. It's not hurting just me and my family. It's hurting for everybody who is defending for what is right. Anyone mentions Zanime in a chat, they all get attacked. Where people actually are scared to go to certain chats because they know they're gonna get attacked.
Exactly. Oh yeah, it happens all the time in Psychobabble's chat. He is a different kind of character, and he has his own opinions, and he can be brash and loud, but he's doing it for the right reasons. Like I got questions yesterday. Well, are you not Creek Squad anymore? Creek Squad is not a gang. It's not a cult. It's a mindset. And yes, I built my channel off of who's situation with another person because I supported that artist. Now, can I disagree with that person? Absolutely. And that is healthy. You should not hang on somebody's word 100% of the time and take it for gospel. That's not what we do as individual people. Like we have our own thoughts and our own opinions. And just because I may disagree with him doesn't mean I don't think he's a good artist. I think he's a great artist, but I don't agree with some of the things and stuff he's done. So am I still Creek Squad? I guess you could say in a way, yes, but I just want to see everybody do better and stop attacking this woman because she does not deserve it at all. It's absolutely insane.
Exactly. And so the thing is, like, you can always agree to disagree, right? You can
Exactly.
always have the opinions and everything. I don't like the misinformation. I always stay strong about like actually the facts and waiting sometimes for the facts. Because once you start not waiting and being extremely impatient, you get to go into this deep rabbit hole. And so, Data Funk, has your family received actual physical threats? Yes, I mentioned that earlier. We actually have received well, no, no, not actual physical threats yet, and I will stop that if they do, because they will be in jail and they will be prosecuted. but we have had some threats that came along through emails, through the our phones and everything. But we had some suspicious activity outside of the house as well that has been reported to the police.
Good. Somebody asked why can't you answer simple questions? I haven't seen a simple question from that person yet, so
I
as soon as I
haven't.
see that, I'll bring it up.
Okay, so let's see. No, I did not know who is that certain person is prior to all of this. In reality, I actually did kind of listen to some of the music earlier on. Music, I was like, yeah, this is something I would listen to. This is something, but now we're just gonna move on to. It's gonna. Do you have OnlyFans? Really, guys?
Oh, that's
Really?
that that's a friend of mine. He's being goofy. He's being
That's
goofy.
funny.
Yeah, no, I don't think she does, guys. She's happily engaged. I don't think she needs to do that.
No, I'm very financially stable and happily engaged and have a great family. I don't need to be somewhere else.
Yeah. Um, yeah, exactly. Zanime is a human being too. People need to realize this can come back at you someday and wonder why them all because of their own cruelty. Yep, you're exactly right. I mean, you guys got to think about when you guys make these comments toward her, how that affects her and her family. I mean, it it may seem simple to you, but in somebody else's household and out in real life, I mean, it has real life consequences and effects on people. It really does.
Yeah, so it is the internet drama and it never ends
You're right.
online. Yeah, so the Bell Life shorts as say that.
Hey,
Um
Johnny Cashville, welcome, buddy.
yeah, because it really doesn't end, but you know what? I do want to point out that YouTube is a private entity, and private entity still has its own laws, its own regulations, and if we can push sometimes for a stricter laws and during a certain events, because their families can actually get hurt, and when the YouTube start listening, then the YouTube will start making some changes. Just FYI.
Absolutely, and I'll be there to support you 100% behind that.
Thank you.
And no matter what you see in the chat, I think a majority of the chat here tonight is here to support you. I've seen a lot of support for you. I'm seeing some negative stuff, which is going to
Thank
come.
you. That's
But
okay.
yeah, but there's been a lot of support for you here, and I'm glad to see that. I'm glad everybody here is being supportive, and all you trolls and negative people out there, keep doing you. Your life must be pretty miserable.
You know, in reality, it's sometimes, well, people do want to be heard, and I wouldn't want to say like your life must be miserable or not, because you truly don't know what they're going through. Maybe this is the way to get themselves out there. Maybe this is the way to actually be like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna put out all my anger outside into the different chats and everything instead of putting out my anger at the house. So I don't I don't like doing all like talking about bad about people like that. I always try to give them a chance.
Exactly. Here's a good question. Did any of the harassment you or your family look at Americans different? Pretty much.
Not me, because I've been here for quite a while. I have faced quite a while of different opinionated people. That's me, nicely put, assholes. And but my family, my cousin and her daughter, my they kind of looking at this a little bit different. They're like, why do I have to deal with this wrath while I'm trying to support my own family and hopefully they'll survive in the war torn country?
Do you still
And
have? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
no, they're just saying like, is this is how it's always gonna be? And I keep telling them, no, it's not.
Gotcha. Do you still have family over in Ukraine?
I do.
Okay. Are they planning on coming over?
They can't.
They
They
can.
have, yeah, they have, you know how it is like when you have a house and you have your whole life
Oh yeah, yeah.
over there. So
Well, plus everything that's happening over there too. I'm sure it's probably hard. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Somebody else had a question. I didn't see them put it in chat. I said I have a question, but I haven't seen the question pop up yet.
Oh, somebody
Um,
asked, what does my fiance think of all of this?
oh yeah, that's a good one.
He thinks it's funny.
Really?
Well, okay, so he's like, he said that no one actually realized who they're truly dealing with.
That's true.
Yeah, so no, he's been extremely supportive, and I don't do anything before I run through him, so we have a really good dynamic in that. And he's been my rock in this whole situation. Try to be strong for my mom and everything, but sometimes you just have to have another person that you can curl up to and say like I love you.
Awesome. Tell him I said hi. I haven't met him yet, but tell him I said hi.
I'm not gonna mention his name because it's not out there
No,
yet.
no,
So
no,
it's
no.
good.
I would not. I would not.
Hey,
Um,
oh, by the way, I do want to crush one rumor that's been going on.
okay.
Um, yeah, so they've been trying to connect to my sister that this is me. That's
Oh
my
Lord.
sister. That's my sister. The reason we have the same name and different first names is because we're siblings. So,
People are
anyways,
always out there trying to make a silly connection to something that's nothing. It's mind blowing all the stuff I've seen. I can't even keep up with it all. There's something new every day. Some new conspiracy theory every day. It's ridiculous.
yeah, I guess I'm a time traveler too.
Are you?
I'm a, I'm a, I'm a, I don't know, Voldemort from a different dimension.
I wish you would teach me how to time travel.
I wish I could time travel. So we
Right?
don't. I would just travel back, so none of this would happen.
Did you really think when you went on that first podcast that this is what was going to happen then?
No, not at all. This is
I,
not what I wanted. This is not how I wanted to go about. But we're here, so let's just make something good out of this bad situation.
exactly, and that's all you can do. But I do applaud you for your bravery and your mental stability and all this because I can't even imagine what you're going through behind the scenes. I really can't.
Yeah, thank you. I there's this question. Will you go? Glory asked this question. Will you go to Ukraine when your 20 years is done to help on front line? Glory, I wish I could. I wish I didn't have my job and the other service. Like I wanted to get it out of the way. I would go, but for the sake of my family and for the sake of taking care of everything, I just can't. So instead of me going and actually fighting on the front lines, I'm gonna try my best to do anything that I can from this side. My mom is actually trying to go out there for a second time, sometime in November, and then we're gonna collect some of the donations. Like last time she went to Ukraine, she was able to buy some nursing stations for the different hospitals, and she delivered to the maternity ward some of the clothing that people donated here in America and some of the toys to the children at the different hospitals. So my mom is a nurse. She's a retired nurse, and that's what she's been doing. She established the routes for donations to actually have that done, and they went to different hospitals to see what kind of list they need and what they needed at the moment, and they were able to go throughout the country and then find it to different warehouses to purchase it from the money that was actually donated from here.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. I know FSU girls asked, what about the others who state their opinions that ones may not agree with that get hacked on her? I mean, I don't think she can really speak on that. I mean, that's something. I mean, if somebody else has a different opinion. I don't know how them getting hacked and harassed is anything to do with the situation at hand. I mean, it's sad that that's happening, but um,
Yeah, they can state their opinions. They can attack, with the words, me, but I would not tolerate anybody to attack anybody in a chat.
yeah, exactly, and especially like hacking or doxing that stuff. I mean, yeah, no,
Yeah, and my full name, my first, middle, and my last name, which is my legal name, got doxed in quite few people's chats. and that's actually private information. So there's a reason why I have a Y in a spelling on my first name, because if you find a Y in any kind of documents, that means those are my legal documents. That means that you actually dug out something that you should not have.
Let's see. We'll take a couple more questions. I know we're almost at that hour mark, and you kind of wanted to keep it short, so we'll find a couple more questions, and then we'll kind of close it up. 'Cause I know Psychobabble's got a stream right after this with a special guest. So
Yeah, not me.
no,
That's
it's not
that's
going to be. Xanamay will not be going on Psychobabbles. He has another special guest. So
yeah.
let's see. I don't know. I don't know if he wanted it out, so I didn't say. So
Oh, Mel, she's amazing. She's been one of my huge supporters throughout this whole situation, and she's been jumping in every single chats and defending. So the Purple Hearts, I think the Purple Hearts keep them going because purple represents all of the military branches put together, and is basically battling through all the impossible things that you can endure.
hey, somebody snipe out CPR Health that's doxing her full name, please.
Hey, so somebody asked Anastasia, how do you feel about Babel claiming you were stolen valor? The thing is, whatever Babel said, he publicly came out and apologized to me, and I completely like I accepted that apology because I wanted him to see the truth. And this is why people, yes, question everything that you can. Don't go blindly, and don't just trust people. Question it. But then when you see the truth and you actually realize it, that's when you are become a stronger person and you come and apologize.
Absolutely, absolutely. You should always question and verify.
Exactly.
That's the healthy way to do all this, not speculate on wild conspiracy theories about things that aren't there. I mean, that's some of it's okay, some of it's not okay. Like the level that this has gone to is not okay at all.
Exactly. And like,
Okay. Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
no, and then if I don't, like I said, I don't particularly need an apology. I just want people to see the truth and then to actually realize what is happening and actually just stop. Just I know some of the YouTubers out there try to rake up money, but this is not the way to do it. If you want to rack up money, start putting out different content. Start going after actually the missing cases that are out there right now. There are thousands and thousands of missing cases that you can be spending your hours, like 8 hour streams, just to try to dig into those cases instead of just this one specific.
Absolutely. And I think going back to your previous statement about psychobabble, I think that's the difference between some people that get things wrong is when you get something wrong and you apologize for it, that makes all the difference in the world. Like people can forgive for mistakes, and it's okay to be wrong and forgive people for their mistakes. It's absolutely okay. But
Exactly.
Psychobabble has been nothing but a supporter of Zanime ever since. I mean, most ever since who started going after her. So I mean, to say anything bad about him is just wrong. He has a different style of how he goes about his things. People may not agree with him. People may not like the things he says, but I mean, some of the, it's crazy. I mean, he's a good guy. He means well. Yeah,
Yes.
you're right, Mary. A real man apologizes. Sorry, Zanime. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no worries, no worries. Yeah, it's all about admitting your own mistakes as well, because
Mhm.
not everybody's perfect. You know,
Yeah,
like
we've all.
no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect whatsoever. I admit my mistakes all the time, and you know, thank you so much for all of this Purple Hearts. This is pretty amazing. I think
Yeah, you
this is
guys
one.
are awesome.
I think this is one of the like best panels that I've been on. Was I actually able to express my express? Oh, that's my alarm, my
Oops, sorry.
medication.
Yeah, and I wanted you to come on to be able to tell how you felt and tell your story. And I think we accomplished that tonight. And I think it was good. I mean, you've got a lot of support in here. I'm behind you. Psychobabble, there's a lot of people behind you. So don't think you're alone in this. I know you're not, but there's a lot more support for you out there than you realize.
Thank you. And then I do want to say, like, our goal is basically to increase the awareness among adults and teenagers and encourage people to speak up, like speak up about bullying and cyberbullying. And I hope people will share what they have heard and learned today and then choose to be part of the solution. Because we hear you, we see you, and we stand with you, like, all over the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, so any closing thoughts as we end tonight?
No, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for having me here and with all the support that I've been receiving in the chat. And but it's not just the support for me, it's support for everybody else out there that have actually been bullied and harassed because of my name, because of this wrath that's been going after me. And yeah, so just stay safe out there, really. And oh, if you have like any specific questions, if anybody wants to dig into theories or anything, but actually specific questions about what's been happening to Truckee, mysteriously Brittany, I've been in contact with her, and she knows everything that's like to a T what's been happening out there. And just direct the questions towards her because I am done talking about this. This enough is enough.
Absolutely. I think it's time for you to do what you did today, go on the offense a little bit and stand up to some of this hate that you're getting and put an end to it. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and thank you, thank you. Hey, we kept it at an hour.
Yep, we did. I thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I know I'm a smaller platform than some of the ones you've been on. I really do appreciate the opportunity of coming on and giving your side of the story for everybody. So people that may not know you or may not have been following along can see the real you and who you are as a human being. I do
Hey,
appreciate it.
don't forget to subscribe to this channel. He needs some supporters because he's standing up for this fight as well.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Well, I do hope you'll come on again. I'd like to
Yeah,
get an update later of how you're doing, and so everybody else can get an update too. I think your story is amazing, and I'm rooting for you for real.
thanks. So I'm just gonna leave the studio now. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, Zename. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, guys. Well, thank you guys for coming. I do appreciate it. I hope that gave a little bit more insight into who she is as a person and the fight that she's going through right now with all the shit and the hate that she's getting. Um, it's absolutely sad what she's going through, but I do appreciate you guys coming on. Make sure you go over to Psychobabble. He's going live right after me, and he's going to have a special guest with him. I don't want to spoil it, but you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a good one. So thank you guys for coming on. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you guys leave some great feedback and comments for Xaname after the live is over with. And just to support her, show her that she has that backing that we know she has. Again, thank you guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys the next time. Bye bye.